Hey guys, I was thinking about children and having had 4 and now hanging out with these couple of grandchildren so far, one more on the way. How exciting. That they spend a lot of time talking to themselves out loud. When they're in they're checked out. When they're talking to themselves, if you happen to say the same word and you're right on their wavelength, they'll include you. But otherwise, you're just going to pull them out. You engaging with them while they're talking to themselves, unless you can join them in that same vibration, if you will, it's going to be difficult for them. And my point is that I sort of stumbled on that because I found when I'm walking in the woods and meditating, I can be thinking about something, and I don't want to really do that, because it's not about thinking of something. It's about just trying to get to that feeling that everything's perfect. And then everything you think about then, you're just sifting it through the filter of what's perfect about this. And when you get to that point where you're sifting through everything you encounter in life and finding out what's perfect about it, it's very easy to figure it out. And it comes to you so quickly. And my point is that there's a difference between that and intelligence. When I'm thinking about stuff and I'm figuring things out and maybe telling a story or studying history or studying what some scientist is doing today, current as I want to be, or keeping track of what the news is doing, or watching what football players' stats are. If I'm busy doing any of that type of stuff, I'm not really using my thinking mind. Well, I guess I would say it's all logistics. But your thinking mind, call it your thinking mind if you like. The point would be that you're not using your highest mind. Maybe that's the way I want to put it. That there's a type of thinking, like when you're connected to the vortex, as I call it. It wasn't my original word, but I kind of like it. It's not used by anybody else for anything else. But there's a swirl of energy that is connected to the collective consciousness. And that collective consciousness that I'm tapped into, that I'm a piece of, that I'm, a portion of the source of it, that energy is where people like Einstein got all their ideas. And he said that. He said, we're all vibrations, we're all just energy. And it's not about figuring out the answer, it's about knowing the right question. When you're asking the right question, the answer just comes to you. The universe just reveals it to you because you're climbing the ladder. I want to know the next. But not know the next thing to fix, like you've done anything, you've accomplished this, now let me go conquer some more and go conquer some more. No, I see this as perfect. I see how this fits. I see how this is perfect. And what did they discover? What did Einstein discover? A lot of perfect things. Everything's perfect. There's no end to that digging. So we can stop digging and know that everything's perfect. If you can train your brain to at least say that, you might not know the answer for sure. This camera work's not perfect. How about that? My arm's getting weak and it's coming down. Anyhow, I think it may be that I need to cut the video shorter. So let me get some concluding thoughts here. I was talking initially about the children's situation. And children, naturally, when they're in their peaceful, loving space, they talk to themselves. And they're checked out. They're not thinking about facts and figures. They're not trying to dance to what other people think about them. They're not trying to impress anyone. They're not trying to accomplish something. They're in another world. And that world of talking to yourself and a make-believe, if you want to, they're feeling the essence of the beauty that now is being created for them. If they can think and dream beauty and perfection, their world will be beauty and perfection. As children, we were taught to dream, watch out. And being taught to dream, watch out, you think, when did anyone ever tell me I should watch out for something in life? Well, I can think of a few times. But that's when you've been an adult and you've been thinking. When you were an infant, the watch out was every time an adult holds you back from something. It's watch out. Watch out, that's hot. Watch out, don't fall down the steps. Watch out, this is that. Watch out if you don't get better grades. Watch out if you don't read this. Watch out if you backtalk me. Watch out if you... It's that energy was transferred at infancy. And they have scientific proof to show that now. We saw a show on it last night, which is partly what made me think of that example. But anyway, it's, so I guess concluding point, I would say I'm glad I got back to talking to myself when I'm walking in the woods, because I definitely find when I'm talking to myself, I know I'm in that, and I'll be talking about stuff that is doing stuff or accomplishing things, but when you're in that connection to the collective consciousness, in the vortex, in the light of divinity, whatever you want to say, inspired by God, I don't know. Any language you want to use doesn't touch it. It's really, there's a feeling. And when you have it and you know it, then you can get really good at putting yourself in it every day. And when you're good at putting yourself in that feeling at least once every day, then you start stretching your time every day. In the morning's the easiest when you wake up. But you'll notice some days you wake up and you're just not in that everything's perfect sense. I could not look at something around me and say why it's perfect. It wouldn't come to me. But there's other times where it's like, wow, everything feels so great. It's like, I'm sure, and sometimes I'll let stuff come to my mind that I'll think about that's not perfect and see its perfection and say everything's just as it's supposed to be for us to develop, to do what we came here to do. Then you'd have to ask yourself the question of, well, what did I come here to do? And that's another video, but I'll give you a little teaser. It's not to do anything, fix anything, build anything, change anyone, nothing. There's definitely nothing that needed to be fixed here. This is just a place where you can come and explore and be and become and watch yourself evolve and grow into something else. So take your time. I think I said this in a video not long ago, but I love it. You can never do it wrong, and you never get it done. This perfection of your outlook on life and creating beauty all around you and experiencing and feeling beauty now before you see it in front of you, and it just keeps coming. The more you can feel and perceive perfection around you, the quicker it comes to you and the deeper it gets, and you just keep snowballing and snowballing and snowballing. And then you seem like Jesus. Nobody understood who he was. You can't teach that to someone by watching the guy walk around. But you'll understand him a lot better and see the simplicity of who he was, and how simple and obtainable it is for everyone, and how we're going to have a whole bunch of Jesuses walking around the planet in the not very distant future. Things are changing quick and happening quick, and technology is here for us to grow spiritually. Everything's here for our spiritual growth. Everything. Jesus is not, battling Satan to try to give us a good home here, and eventually we'll have heaven on earth. But for now, we say, oh, I'm not, of this place. We love to say that about Jesus. He's not of this place. He's of heaven. Is this like the cursed place that he hated? You got the wrong impression. It's not. This is a perfect opportunity to be a loving experiment in material manifestation of love. We're already love energy perfection balls. Now we're just trying to fix that and make it into matter and make a little beautiful planet around us. But it's not by doing and fixing, it's by becoming. You become a loving, vibrating, everything's perfect in my head, in my world, not because I went out and fixed it, but because I sat with it and saw the perfection and said there's nothing that needs to be fixed. And then when you realize there's nothing that needs to be fixed, and you can't get it wrong, and you never get it done, then it's just, what do I want to do? Well, do something fun. And if everyone just did something fun, the world would be a perfect place. But there's nobody out there doing anything fun. Everybody's out there trying to wrestle down who they can call the worst guy they can find. Who's the next worst guy we can find? Let's get rid of all these worst guys we can find. You're just going to keep finding worst guys. You're bringing the bad out of everybody. Anyway, so I'm here to nudge you a little bit to take the good out of yourself. Then you'll find that you'll start pulling the good out of other people, and life gets really fun and easy. So anyway, I think that's it. 9 minutes, 18 seconds. Gotta go. Love you guys. See ya. Out.